You ever find yourself tearing up over someone you've never met? One minute you're flipping channels or scrolling YouTube, and suddenly you're emotionally hooked. There's a single parent chasing a dream, a teenager singing through their grief, and a shaky voice telling a heartbreaking story before a single note is even sung. It feels raw, authentic, like you're watching something real unfold. But what if that moment, the one that made your chest tighten, wasn't entirely real? What if it was edited, scripted, or even manipulated to hit you just right? And no show leans into that emotional formula harder than The Voice Australia, where every note comes with a backstory, and every backstory is built to make you feel something. The spinning chairs, the standing ovations, the teary judges, they're all part of a perfectly tuned emotional engine. Yes, the talent is real, the performances are real, but the stories are where things get complicated. And once you see how the machine works behind the curtain, it gets harder to watch the same way again. Let's start with what hooks people in: the backstories. You know the drill. A contestant walks on stage, the lights dim, and the screen fades into a sob-filled package. Maybe their dog died, their brother is in rehab, or their dad told them they'd never make it. Stories designed to build a connection before you even hear a single note. By the time they start singing, you're already rooting for them because you know what they've been through. It's emotionally manipulative, and The Voice is a masterclass in using reality TV editing to shape how you feel. Now, not all stories are fake, but they are exaggerated, trimmed, or sometimes totally recontextualized to fit a narrative arc. You're not reacting to the real person. You're reacting to a version of them that producers built in a back room with a very clear agenda to make good TV. Every laugh, every tear, every beat is choreographed like a stage play. The editors can make a contestant seem like a rising phoenix, a quirky outsider, or a tragic hero, all with the magic of a cutaway and the right music cue. But hey, maybe you're okay with that. Maybe you're thinking, alright, fine. They play with emotions. It's TV after all. But here's where it gets darker. Because even if you get through the auditions, blow away the judges, and ride that emotional high all the way to the finals, you're still playing by someone else's rules. In fact, the moment you step into that spotlight, you've already signed your rights away. Literally. Let's talk about what happens after the big moment. After the chairs turn, after the tears, after you've poured everything into that stage. Because here's the thing, even if you make it through the auditions, blow away the judges, and ride that emotional high all the way to the finale, you still might not get to win. At least, not in the long run. For years, winners walked away with 100,000 Australian dollars and a shiny record deal. But by 2024, the record deal vanished and was replaced with a development package and studio access. The official reasoning was to allow winners more flexibility. But let's be real, that kind of change doesn't happen unless something's broken. And often, it is broken. Consider Karis Eden, Season 1's first champion. Her debut album hit #1 and went double platinum, but the momentum dwindled fast. These days, she performs regionally and releases music on a much smaller scale. Anja Nissen, Season 3 winner. She released an album and even made it to Eurovision representing Denmark, but her debut single barely charted in Australia and the follow-ups fizzled. Lockie Gill had an EP and a travel series. Terence Stokes put out a single and still plays live. But if you tried to name winners from just a few seasons ago, you might blank. Meanwhile, the real success stories are often the people who didn't win. Finalists or early exits who built things their own way. That's the problem. The Voice doesn't build careers. It builds a season, emotional arcs, viral clips, a final crescendo, then it resets. The spotlight moves on. So yes, you can win. But winning the show, that doesn't mean winning after the show. And if you're thinking, well, that's the price of fame, let's zoom out for a second. Because The Voice isn't really about finding the next big music star. It's about making a TV show, a very profitable one. And you, the viewer, are not the audience. You're the consumer. The product is your attention, your emotion, and your time. See, at its core, The Voice Australia is less of a talent show and more of a high-gloss advertising platform. Every glittering set piece, every slow-motion spin of a judge's chair, every dramatic pause before the buzzer, it's all meticulously crafted for maximum brand engagement. Sponsored by big names like KFC, Arnott's, and Samsung, The Voice is a vehicle for product placement and network synergy. The judges, or coaches as the show prefers, aren't there to discover unknown talent. They're there to maintain their personal brands, promote their new albums, and serve up shareable soundbites. That's the business, and it works. Ratings go up when someone like Rita Ora gets flirty with a contestant, or when Guy Sebastian breaks down in tears. It's all content, and content equals clicks, and clicks equal dollars. But here's what they don't advertise. Most Voice winners don't actually go on to have successful music careers. Sure, there are exceptions. But for every winner who releases an album, there are dozens who fade into obscurity, some still bound by contracts that prevent them from pursuing music independently. In fact, some of the most successful contestants from The Voice Australia didn't win the show. They didn't even make it to the finals, but they managed to break away, rebrand, and rebuild their careers on their own terms, sometimes only after the contractual obligations expired. Meanwhile, others have shared horror stories of being effectively shelved by the very system they hoped would launch them, locked out of the industry by the same people who claim to be opening the door. So if The Voice isn't really about finding musical talent, what is it about? It's about moments. Moments that make you cry, moments that trend on social media, moments that sell ad space. It's emotional fast food, engineered to make you feel something and then move on. It's a spectacle disguised as sincerity, and the singers are the props. Willing, talented, hopeful props, but props nonetheless. And yet, the formula works. Millions tune in every season, clips go viral, people cry, people cheer, viewers pick favorites. It's designed to be addictive, to create emotional investment with minimal effort. And that's the genius of it. You don't have to care about music to watch The Voice, you just have to care about people, or at least the version of people that TV producers show you. Now, to be clear, this isn't an attack on the contestants. Many of them are wildly talented and incredibly hardworking. They deserve support. But support doesn't mean pretending the system is fair, or pretending that success on a reality show equals success in real life. Because more often than not, it doesn't. And it's not just The Voice Australia. This formula has been used in reality shows around the world, from American Idol to X Factor to Got Talent. The difference is in the packaging. The Voice just happens to be particularly slick about it. With its spinning chairs and feel-good vibes, it masks the machinery underneath. But once you pull back the curtain, the truth is hard to unsee. So next time you watch an audition and feel a lump in your throat, ask yourself, is this real? Or is it really good editing? When a coach says, you have something special, are they talking to the singer or the camera? When a contestant says, this is my dream, are they dreaming or reading from a script someone handed them? It's not about being cynical, it's about being aware. Because in the end, The Voice Australia isn't about voice. It's about vision. The producer's vision, the sponsor's vision, the network's vision. And that vision doesn't always include the truth. But what do you think? Do you still watch The Voice Australia? Do you care that there are certain aspects of the show that aren't as genuine as you think? Let us know your thoughts and more in the comments section below, and let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss out on more deep dives like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.